Welcome back, Halo followers. Where do I even start? There is an infinite amount of Forge leaks that shows that Forge is exactly what Halo Infinite needs to revive. There is a buy and sell system that you can do with the node graph editor. You can make classic maps from Halo 3. You can even make campaign missions. You can add so many particles. Maps can be massive. The sandbox size or budget is just absolutely insanely large, right? So there is an exploit that is allowing people to actually get into Forge and play around with it. Even content creators like InfiniteForges have been creating maps. Now, I've heard that you can't save these or they won't be available in the final beta, which we will see sometime in September. At least that's the last time we heard it's a target. But my good friend InfiniteForges created this map, which is Doom-based, all in Halo Infinite's Forge on Breaker, right? I mean, it's just absolutely insane. There's also this map that he altered on Fragmentation, I believe, and it's just this can be an infection map, he said, just to look at what's possible here. He also built this map on Fragmentation, and boy, is it beautiful. I mean, there are just so many options and abilities in Halo Infinite's Forge, not to mention scaling, a scaling feature where you can change the size of any object, stretching it in any dimension that you want. Really does give the freedom that we've always wanted in Forge. There's also a feature in Halo Infinite's Forge that is the node graph editor, which we've never had before, that allows for really intense scripting. For example, when you shoot a little perk machine, you get all kinds of attributes applied to your player. Someone remade a Modern Warfare map, and boy does it look clean. And this is before baked lighting, so we really have no idea how good the lighting is going to look, but honestly, this is equivalent to Halo 5's Forge, and it's baked lighting, and it hasn't even been baked yet, so the lighting is probably going to look way better, and I'm really excited for that. I mean, it might be a whole rendering process, but that excites me. This person created something called Origins, and you can actually find the links for all these maps and demonstrations and videos down in the description below. I've left all of my sources, all the videos that I'm showing off here, but look at this, man. This looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, at a first glance, this looks like a dev map, right? Of course, the Forerunner stuff looks a little out of place here, and the baked lighting could be a bit better, but that's not here yet, you know? So I really wonder how that's going to end up looking. There's also someone making the pit from Halo 3. Now, this is just beautiful, right? So much possibilities here. I mean, infinite possibilities. This is exactly what we've wanted as a community. Unfortunately, the map is a bit unfinished here, and I think as far as feedback goes, I think it could use a little bit more color, like the original pit is a little bit too gray. But this is Halo 2's Headlong, which we also saw on Reach, and it actually looks pretty damn good. You know, maybe you could say it's not a dev map, but in the time lapse is something that really blows me away. We see that there's a model called UNSC Road, which is going to be great for, well, exactly this kind of setup when you're creating Forge maps. And the scaling option allows for all kinds of possibilities. I mean, look at this. You can size moving trees, and then you can just duplicate them and undo it and redo it if, you know, since those are new features coming to Forge 2. And another content creator, Footedghost, actually did this demonstration where when in Forge, he actually realized that there was all kinds of different areas that have been already mapped out by 343, accessible areas that you can only access in Forge. So if you delete the vents, it opens up entirely new areas on maps that we have been playing this entire time, which are going to be great for infection, for spawning areas. Enclosed tree, this is one of my favorite demonstrations. It shows the power of scaling objects such as the tree there, and the lighting. Look at the lighting on the terrain. Of course, this map could use a bit more detail, and we do see maps with a lot more detail like grass and little bushes and branches and things like that. That does look at a glance like it is right from the campaign map itself. So the fact is that we have extreme power here. These are modding tools light, and boy, am I excited to see how this all looks when there is legitimate baked lighting. Smile4 on YouTube actually went through and had a demonstration of creating high ground from Halo 3. Now, real quick, look at these options. You can create actually regions on blocks, which is great for kind of transitioning different textures and making things look even more like a dev map. And you can see all kinds of options be popped up here through this time lapse. Now, this person's creating High Ground from Halo 3, and if you watch through the whole thing, you'll see that it's not really a one-to-one version of it. It still shows that High Ground can be recreated, and that's just exciting because it can look really good. The textures look freaking beautiful. I mean, this stuff is just things we have not seen in Forge before. Now, I already showed this one. Someone recreated a map from Call of Duty Zombies. I'm not familiar with this map myself, so I didn't realize the relevance of it, besides the fact that it looks really great. Here's a demonstration of Pack-a-Punch from Call of Duty. This is basically the reward system. When you get kills, you get points, or whatever reward system that they have, and then you can buy weapons with that. So not only, I'm sure, is infection going to be possible purely through the node graph system, but there's going to be so many different possibilities for creating immersive, exciting experiences that we've never seen in Halo before, that the community can just do themselves come September. So when you unlock certain points, right here we see debug 0. I think that's actually going to be notifications that we can actually have right there in-game. Here's a demonstration of the repairable doors from Call of Duty. And not only can you repair them through reward points and whatever system that the forger sets up, the attacking zombies can actually breach through this, break through it, and then when you repair them, it actually has like a whole animation attached to it. So we can actually take a look at what's going on behind the scenes here. And it's rather complicated, maybe on the surface, but I think people will eventually understand this system pretty well, just like they did with Halo 5. In this video, this player demonstrates portals, working portals in Halo Infinite. Any projectiles, anything you throw, or you can jump through these portals, it will zap you to another part of the map. You'll be able to apply that to your weapons. So yeah, we have pretty much working portal guns, just like from Portal or Splitgate. I've already shown this video to y'all by Serasia, but it really does show how seamless terrain blends in with existing dev maps and how many options you have to make it look like. We would be none the wiser, honestly, if someone made some minor adjustments to the terrain on Livefire, right? This person goes through the effort of maxing out Halo Infinite's budget, and as you can see, they're only on 15%. On the bottom right is the simulation memory, and we are getting to an insane level of of objects. This video also makes me just so excited. Someone went through the effort of creating Halo 2's Lockout in Halo Infinite's Forge, and boy does it look so freaking good. I mean, the textures, all the materials, all the little objects, the fog, the particles. I think they could work on the vines a little bit if I'm going to critique it, but ultimately this is like exactly what we would want for Forge. And one thing I really want to point out here is when the person jumps out on the bottom level, look at the fog. Does that look like Forge to you? The particles are actually interacting with light placements, right? So 343, you know, you guys have knocked it out of the park here. I'm beyond excited to see what people create when Forge does drop. They say when the beta drops in September, it's going to be in beta form, so it's not going to be technically the final version of Forge, but they say when it is out, it is out for good. So it's not going to be taken away. When the Forge beta is out, it is going to be indefinitely available until the final version drops, and also maps won't be broken, so they say. Because that is one thing that could really stunt the growth of Forge, could really demotivate people, and believe that their Forge maps aren't going to be saved in the beta, and thus kind of ruin all their efforts and potential of Forge saving Halo Infinite. The last map I want to show here today is by Ducain23. He's really into racetrack maps in Forge, and so it's only fitting that he would make a racetrack map in the Forge League version, right? And this thing is freaking beautiful. Why I think it really stands out is that you can't really tell that this is Behemoth anymore besides the structure here. The terrain is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm honestly more impressed by the terrain editing and what he's been able to do with the terrain than I am the Forge track. I'm sure the Forge track is really fun, and I like how it blends in with the Foreigner structure here on Behemoth. but it just shows what is possible on Forge and really does have me excited to hell. And not to mention, if you like racetrack maps, there's probably all kinds of node graph editing you can do to make them super exciting and more fun. I'm sure Ducain knows all about it, or has thought all about it anyway. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're excited for Forge, be sure to smash that like button blue, and let me know what you're most excited for, what feature you're most excited for, if you think it's going to save Halo Infinite, down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one soon. Alright, you take care. Peace.